Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light, where we appreciate you coming and enjoying today with us, or whichever day you're enjoying. Here's a little sage for everybody to bring you to this here and now moment where we are going to enjoy a wonderful conversation with someone who's kind of like not quite one of our classmates, but still one of our siblings from the Akashic Academy. And so this is what's going to be so much fun, because this is where all of us have really met. And look at us now. So you know what a beautiful birthing place that we had. And so it's pretty exciting. But before we meet our guest, I want you to acknowledge and see my co-host Nancy here, who is the one you want to know when you need to know about cats. So keep that in mind. And there's more. Nancy knows more than that. Cloydal Silver, I mean, this is our Nancy. You know, we love her. Next, I'm throwing it right back to Rhonda, who is a teacher and a mentor in her own right, teaching a lot of us how to do Reiki and take things further on our spiritual path. So Rhonda has the card for the day, and then we'll get to meet our guest.
Well, like Kim and I was discussing earlier, Reiki is the gateway drug to spirituality, as we all know. It leads us to Akashic Records. It leads us to cards. Well, you guys led me to cards, but it ups your intuition. So with that being said, I called in the angels, and they decided which deck they wanted, and I just started picking. So today, it's intuition and downloads. Ooh. And if you're a light worker, this means you have the capacity to bring light to the earth through your presence and purpose. Even though you may feel sensitive and overwhelmed, know that your gifts are stronger and your psychic muscles are moving. Be encouraged to look beyond what the physical eyes are showing you now. Use this to plan your week ahead, your day ahead, and just use it every day. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more you can use it, and the more things become easier. It's like, getting those little downloads and those little intuitions and acting on them keeps you from going, I wish I'd done what I thought I should have done. And that'll be, because we all do that. If I'd only done it the way I figured I should have done it this time, do it the way you figured you should have done it, and it'll help you out this week. So just give yourself those little tests and follow your intuition and see where it leads you this week. And I'd love to introduce Kim. And Kim, I've been a lurker on your page. I think I met you through the Akashic Academy and through my friend Melinda Lane. And now I'm somehow in your meditation group, even though I have never yet joined, because you get up really early in the morning and I'm usually going to work. And you'll have to tell us all about that. And I'd like you to give us a little bit about your journey, because I kind of know your story from being a lurker and a liker on your page. And it's been an incredible journey. And over the last, I guess, 8 years when you first started going public, I've been seeing your growth and celebrating your sobriety with you. So I'm just so excited to have you on our show today.
Thank you. And actually, it's been about only 5 years, but
5 years? I know time flies.
Time's not linear either, as we all know. So, over here, over there. So thank you, first of all, ladies, so much for having me and giving me the space to share my story and my light, as I like to call it. Excuse me, clearing up the throat chakra. So a little bit about my story. I'm a first-generation American here. I come from a Mexican-American father, a Korean-American mother. My dad immigrated when he was about 9. My mom immigrated when she was about 27. And just like every human, as we all know, we are spiritual beings having these human experiences. And through my childhood and teenage and young adult experiences, I had a very, very toxic relationship with alcohol. It was my boyfriend, my lover, excuse me, my best friend. I know, right? Throat chakra. And that's my heart chakra hurting because of humanity right now. So we'll get into that. But, anytime I'm sick, or, you know, not feeling completely balanced. I know exactly why. I know which heart chakra, which chakra it's, you know, affecting and why it's manifesting in the way it is physically in me. But, you know, through the life experiences, the alcohol got very toxic. I did eventually go into cocaine, which was the hardest drug. I was like, do I want to go? How hard are we going on this live? But, you know, that was about the hardest one I did. I tried a lot of other things, but that seemed to be the two that I enjoyed the most. When I hit 35, I had been sober. I had been clean from the drugs and was just drinking. We, as alcoholics and addicts, we love to tell ourselves stories, right? So I was just drinking, so I was okay. Met my husband late in life. We got married. I had my kids at 39 and 40. And then that, you know, all the things that I had stuffed down inside really just, not only did it come back to the forefront, but it exploded in my face. So now I was forced to do the healing, forced to, instead of constantly putting mulch over the seeds that I planted every year, I was never pulling the weeds. And now the weeds were getting completely out of control. There was no hiding it anymore. So I went to rehab for the first time in my life at the age of 42, and that was May 8th of 2019. So happy to report that we are still sober from alcohol and cocaine. So that's been such an amazing journey. Thank you. But how that led me to here was, even though I got sober, right, I still wasn't happy. I was not feeling completely healthy. I just felt like something was still off. So that is when I discovered Reiki. I discovered a Reiki practitioner, and I had started reading about Reiki, right? Like John Hopkins, Columbia University, they're bringing in Reiki practitioners. And I'm like, what's this Reiki they're talking about? And it was so funny. Fun fact, I was calling it Reiki. I was like, Reiki. I wasn't even calling it right? For like the first like 2 years, I'm calling it Reiki. It's Reiki. So, finally went to a Reiki practitioner, and now that teacher has now become like one of my best friends and a mentor. And then she was like, oh, I'm going to actually teach people how to become Reiki practitioners. Did that. Then I met Emily Harrison, which is how I met Rhonda, at the Akasha Academy. And I was like, oh, this teaches you about how to read like my soul's, like, you know, your soul's library. I was like, okay, I'm all about that, because as most of us who are intuitive or who choose to do this, and it's a big part of our lives, we know that we've always been intuitive. We know we've always walked our own drumbeat. At one point or other, we've probably been called weird, you know, and following that drumbeat, finally, without judgment, you know, with finally releasing my ego, finally in a place where I was sober enough to hear my higher self, to hear the guides, to hear my ancestors. And then life has just been a constant unfolding of healing and magic. And I am truly, I say I live my life like a 7-year-old, because every day I'm like, wow, wow, wow. Oh my God, did I just hear that? Did that just happen? You know, a client calling me after I gave a reading, and they're like, oh my gosh, you said this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yay. Like cheering on other people, getting to see other people step into their power, seeing people who came to me for readings now doing readings, seeing people who came to me for Reiki now as Reiki masters, and doing like classes, teaching other people how to, like, I mean, it's just exploding, and the healing and the vibrations that they go out. And, you know, that's why when you asked what I wanted to talk about, I was like, intention and creation, you know, because it really comes down to, what is your intention? Because that's what you're creating, you know. And even in the spiritual world, and I know you ladies have seen it, I don't know what it is about ladies and gentlemen too, but man, sometimes they can get really catty, you know. And it's like, can we just encourage people? Like, there is so much room for everyone to succeed and for everyone to be abundant. Like, I just don't understand when, you know, people see other people that like walk beside them do good things. Like, where, you know, again, what's your intention? You know, what are you creating right now? What's your thoughts, you know? So yeah, so now I've got here.
It's amazing, because I remember John Holland. I was at a conference being taught by him, and one of the things he said is, there's not enough of us out there. So the world needs healing, and there's too few healers, and there's too few card readers, and there's too few psychics out there. Share your gifts, learn how to do this, there's too few of us out there. And I think that there's more than enough there's more enough healing to do for everybody on this planet. There's more than enough.
Really, yeah.
There are billions of us. And that's the thing too. Like Rhonda was saying that I do meditation. So I was doing it Monday through Friday, but because of my space and my need to pull back for myself, I went back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? I do it on Zoom. Well, just last month, maybe 2 months ago, I started going live on Zoom and TikTok, right? Because my whole purpose, and I've had so many people say, Kim, I can't believe you do that for free. I can't believe you do that for free. And I was like, first of all, there's an energy exchange, okay? I'm not doing it for you. You think because people aren't giving me money that I'm not getting some kind of exchange from that. I am getting up at 5:30 in the morning. If I didn't have that sisterhood, that brotherhood, because there are men that come joining me, I probably wouldn't be getting up because I did try. And, after in my early sobriety, that was something that I took it because when a doctor tells you you have a cold and you need to take these antibiotics 3 times a day, 7 days a week, and then you'll feel better. We do it without question. And then after I had left rehab, they were like, you need to meditate. You need to go within. So I did that as if it was my medicine. I got up at 5:30 every morning. I read from it's called A Quiet Place. It's a Cocaine Anonymous, affirmations book. So I read from Alcoholic Anonymous and books, reading other people's stories. And then I meditated. And I was like, that's what helped me the most. So that's what I want to give back to the world. And that's what's going to come back to me. The peace that I feel. And again, Rhonda's like, I've never been on it because, she's on her way to work. And that's why I said at 6 a.m., if you're willing to meet me at 6 a.m., then let's do it. Let's do this together. And now after the meditations, I do an intuition test and I do a telepathy test. So for instance, I had this written, right? So I tell them, I'm like, there's a word written on this. So why I tell them, I'm like, focus on your third eye, focus on this, blank slate. I'm also saying it. So I'm like, no, just over and over in my head. And I tell every person that comes on my live or joins my Zoom, I'm like, listen, the only reason that I'm doing the tarot cards and this is because I opened up these chakras. And guess what? You have those energy centers too. You have a third eye. You have a crown chakra. Practice it. Open it up. Meditation is also a practice. Make it yours. How someone taught me something, I took what worked for me and then I made it my own practice because there's no right or wrong. Literally, there's no right or wrong. It's intention, creation. What do you intend? What's your intention with this? And what are you trying to create? And if it's about money, I want money. I'm doing this because I want money. What's that going to create for me? I don't want to know. My intention is I want to help other people. I want other people to know that they have magic too. I want other people to know that the magic is right here within them. It's not me. I'm not handing them magic. I don't have any magic tricks up my sleeve. I open up my third eye just like you could do. You want to read cards? Do it. You want to talk to your ancestors? Come on. I'm going to show you how. That's what I want to create. I want this joy that I feel every day. I want others to have that. And I want them to know nobody can give it to them except themselves. So give yourself that gift. Love yourself enough to be like, yes, that's what I want in my life. That's my intention. That's what I'm going to create.
It's really hard to talk to some person that doesn't have the least amount of clue of any of this iceberg of joy that's accessible to us, isn't it? It's hard to say, well, but you understand that I don't get it. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But what you're doing in your community is raising the vibration, which helps you. I understand what you're doing. Just like what we do here. We don't have any subscriptions or any Patreons or anything. Nothing that's wrong with that. We've just been doing it this way because we learn as much from our guests, Teresa would say, as it's like a workshop every week for us, that we get to attend.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. I love that.
Yeah. And we feel by giving that out to the world that the world becomes a better place. And since we live in the world, then it's better for us too. So that's where the selfish part comes in. We're trying to make the better world a better place for all of us.
It's right here.
Yeah.
It truly is. And, and I also know my human experience, that's all root chakra. Like, what is the story with money? What is the story? Like, why is it bad to be super rich? It's not. Do you know what I mean? But me, it's like, and I know that's a block that I've had. So my husband laughs because I'm always like, I'm a fairy. I'm gonna go ground in the grass today. And he's like, hey, Miss Fairy, we have a mortgage to pay. Okay. So like you can go do what you want to do, but I just need to gently and kindly remind you, Miss Fairy, like you're still in human dimensions over here. And I'm like, oh yes,
Yeah, we
so
have bills to pay and groceries to put on the phone and kids to get to school or, whatever
yeah,
too at the same time,
exactly.
because we signed up for those jobs as well.
Exactly. So, that's why I think being very aware, because that's why I said too, I was like, I'm going to work on that mindset because that is a block that I have. And I'm like, no. And that's something I even dyed last year. I dyed my hair red because Rondo, before we got, I was commenting about the purple. And I was like, I like the purple because it keeps my crown chakra open because Lord knows I need that connection to higher self most days. You know what I mean? Because if not, Kim and her ego will just not make the higher vibrational choices. So even last year in the spring, I had dyed my hair red. Oh my gosh, or probably that was like in fall of 2023. So that's how long I've been setting the intention to work on this root chakra. And I had dyed my hair red because I was like, okay, got to work on this root chakra. Let's start by just pulling in that vibration, right, of red. Because even we know, and I explain to clients, because it is hard, Rhonda, when they're like, I post about chakras and talking to my ancestors on my regular Facebook page, and people will make their smart comments every now and then, and I literally don't get offended. I'm just like, if you would like to understand, call me. Like, I get it. It's a lot. It is a lot. Like, what do you mean chakras and energy centers and ego and higher self? Like, what? And if you don't know any of those terms, like, I mean, like I said, I called it Reiki. Even, here I was getting it, receiving it, giving it. I'm like calling it Reiki instead of Reiki. And it's just, but when you can let your ego go and not be scared about being wrong. And if it's something that, and we all know, if something interests you, like, something about that, go explore it. That's your drumbeat. That is literally your guide guiding you. Hey, go look into that a little bit more. If we stop thinking, oh, that was just a coincidence. Why? How many times have you been thinking about somebody? Then, oh, there they are at the grocery store. Or, oh, then they text you. You know what I mean? Like,
I freak my neighbor out all the time.
Yeah.
I was just going to call you. I know. That's why I'm calling you.
Well, Chanel, my mentor, was so funny. She posted yesterday about how she was looking for a satellite like on her phone, and she's like, she goes deep into the mountains during the wintertime. I'm like, I can't wait till my kids are older, because I told her, don't be surprised if I fly out to Utah and join you. But I told her, I was like, you're gonna have to share your location with me just in case. And she's like, no, I don't. You dial right into where I'm at, and you'll be like, don't walk over that cliff, it's 3 feet to your right. I was cracking up because like, it's intuitive. Like, I always know. It seems like, when your friend is having a bad day, it's just like, I'm going to call her. And then you call her and they're like, oh my gosh, I was like really going through it right now. You have no idea how much I needed to hear that, or how much I needed you to call me. And if people were to just open that up, Rhonda, like you said, there needs to be more of us, and that don't lead with ego also, because that is the thing, guys. Spiritual ego is just the same as like a non-spiritual ego. You know what I mean? Ego is ego.
The fear of being wrong. Don't fear being wrong, right?
Don't
God
fear.
Help us if we ever feared being wrong and get this to this age. I never made a mistake. And you never learned anything, obviously.
Right.
I just made a post yesterday about how when my son got bullied, my biggest lesson in the last 3 years, I even took bully and narcissist out of my vocabulary starting in 2025. Why? Because the last 3 years I've been dealing with my son and these energies, and then all of my childhood trauma from being bullied. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay, Kim, I see what you did there, but so I was like, wow, eyes open. Okay. You know, always being honest with myself. You were a little aggressive. That, no, you know, okay, you shot the arrow, but definitely missed the mark. Your intention was good, but you did not create, you know, exactly what you were trying to do. So, like I said, layers, that onion. And everybody knows when you peel an onion, what happens as you peel, those layers get thicker. They don't get thinner, those layers get thicker. And you're like peeling off those thicker layers, you know, you think, oh, I've done all this healing. No, sunshine, those layers get thicker, you know.
So do you think talking about certain like groups of people make them appear more in your life?
I do.
I mean, like if we're talking about narcissists, all of a sudden we have a whole group of narcissists visiting us, you know, or is that so we understand what we're talking about, or is that just because, oh, we put that energy out there and now they're attracted to it like a bunch of maggots to a fly carcass or something?
Yeah. And again, there's no right or wrong. So in my experience and my human experience as Kim, here's what it all comes down to, right? Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, going to my Akashic records. What is the main message and the only message? Love. Love is the answer. Love is the only way. So I have a lot of narcissistic family members, right? And I could not love them because I just was like, you bullying, narcissistic son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, I don't know if I'm like that, but
we'll bleep it out later.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
I was like, oh wait.
We're not technical enough for that, man. This is a live show.
Okay. And yeah, I was like, I'll give it away. And it was just frustrating. And then as I was meditating and I was sitting in my meditation and it came through and they were like, Kim. Well, you know, if you keep calling them that, that's how you're going to see them. And how are you going to shift how you feel about them or their mindset? Or how are you going to forgive them if that's, you're defining them as that? You keep calling them that. And as we all know in the Akashic, well, what I've learned in the Akashic records is that we are all spiritual beings having human experiences. So if that spirit in that human body is choosing to have that experience, good for you, sunshine. I hope you enjoy the energy that you're creating with your intentions. I gotta mind my own business over here while I can still speak my truth, while I can still stand up for humanity. That's why my heart is hurting. That's why my throat, because I want to scream, but I can't. So of course now I got phlegm built up here because of this energy that's been ruminating since the end of January, right? All of these things. So it comes down to love, and I have to love them all. I cannot hate them. I got to figure it out. That's the way. So once I removed those words, it was crazy because there's two family members in particular that I truly just, every time I would think about them, I just wanted to throat punch them just once. Just a good jab, right? Just being honest. And it's like that's not, you know, why? I'm this happy person. Happy people don't go around hurting people. Something's hurting. I need to figure out why. And so in meditation, which is again, that energy exchange that happens, it's not just for them. I'm getting some good info too when I'm in there every morning. You know what I mean? And it was, stop saying those words and watch how your mindset's going to change. And I'll be darned if this year I don't want to throat punch them. I'm like, you know what? I hope abundance comes your way. I'm actually, because again, as a grand Reiki master, what am I extending? What are my thoughts? What are my intentions? And I don't want people to hurt. I don't, you know, the ego wants to be like, I'm not in your life. You're gonna suffer because I'm awesome sauce. You know what I mean? Like, that's the ego. When the higher self is like, shut up. Like, no, their lives, they don't care. You know what I mean? Their life's going on. Like, stop thinking about them. Just go do something nice today. You know, that's why, like, I've been posting on my social media a joke of the day and an affirmation a day, because everybody's scrolling and it's garbage. So
Mine's birds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Not yours, Rhonda. Yours is not
I'm
garbage.
birds. I'm
Yours
birds.
is amazing. You're one of the very few. You're one of the very few. And that's why I love you. Do you know what I mean?
I
It's
just
like,
wish
oh my
my
gosh,
life was that good. That's what I always say. But you project what you want, right?
you
And that's
project
what I
what
said.
you want. And
Project
that's
what you
why
want.
I had to stop. You and Garrett Petrov, who's also another Akashic Records teacher of mine, you guys are like Snow White, I swear. You guys in nature, the way animals come to you, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
But I just but what you say is right. When somebody's bugging you or something about that person is, then you have to really look, right? You have to really look at that person. What is it about that person that they're mirroring what I don't like about me and them? And what is that mirror and how do I fix that in me so it's not always like every time I meet them?
Yeah.
It's a hard thing, right? Sorry,
because
somebody
how
just hit my window.
I heard that.
Because how you think about them is how you're going to speak about them. You know what I mean? And then how you speak of others, who are you saying that to? And then they're going to be like, oh, well, I don't want her talking about me like that. You know what I mean? So it's just, I tell people all the time, you know, especially when I go do like motivational speaking and I'm talking to people about chakras and meditating, I always say my one favorite thing, I used to love to gossip. I loved it because I didn't grow up as one of the popular girls, right? So this is like a great example of how I like to give about how your childhood stuff affects you, and this is who you become as an adult, right? So I was never in the cool crowd. So then as I became a young adult in my like young 20s or whatever, I'd be at work and somebody, you know, there'd be a rumor going around and somebody would tell me and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I know something. I'm part of the cool crowd because somebody told me a secret. And then it's like, I would have to tell people that I knew this secret instead of just keeping the secret, you know? And now, especially after learning about the throat chakra, I pride myself in keeping secrets. I'm like so proud of myself that I'm like a vault. And then here's what cracked me up though. There's been secrets that I've been told over the years that I have kept. Everybody thinks I've told every secret. And I'm like, I haven't. But I don't want to tell you that because then now you know I know secrets, right? So I don't even like.
And then they start
Yeah, right.
torture.
Yeah, but it's just because why? You know, and like even when people start talking about other people, like if we're in a group, even if it's not bad, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I have the same shoes as her. Don't you love these shoes? Aren't these shoes like completely change the subject? I start talking about me. You know what I mean? I'll turn it back to me or just no, because why? You know, and I'd like to know that when I'm not around, people are also not allowing other people to talk about me. You know?
Unless it's good things. Unless it's good things.
Yeah.
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 And that's what I like to do.
Yeah,
I love that
exactly.
Teresa and that Nancy because you know they're just only safe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
can you tell me more about, okay, so you meet up at 6 a.m.
What's the group called?
On Zoom every morning?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did start a small subscription. And again, like nobody subscribed, but I don't care. Cause like I said, that root chakra. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put my little fee. And I put it at $11. So it still wasn't like tremendous. Mm-hmm. And so if you join through that subscription, then I stay on after the Zoom and then I'll talk. I'll be like, hey, this is what's coming through for me intuitively. So it's almost like, you know, a little session after the meditation. The meditations are completely free. You know what I mean? That's, if you want to get up and join. So like on TikTok, when I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, once the meditation's over and we do the intuition test and the telepathy, I'm like, all right, everybody have a good day. For the subscribers, I stay live on just for the subscribers. And then, you know, like I said, we talk like, what did you see? What came through? How can I help you move through this space? So like on the people that come on Zoom, same thing. Like some women will come on and be like, hey, my son's having a procedure today. Can everybody just, you know, extend energy? Or like, hey, my dog is, you know, not doing well. Can you guys please extend energy to my dog today? And yeah, it's just a nice group where we all hold space for each other and there's no judgment. Like people can ask like, I think I saw a ghost in the corner of my eye. Like, was that real? You know what I mean? And everybody else is like, yes. And like, don't be scared and, you know, try to channel it this way. So just very supportive and helping everyone. So it started out as a meditation group, but it has really just gone into a big community where we all just hold space for each other.
And how do they access to participate, to be in part of that group? How do they get to you?
Yes. So if you go to my website, it's on there. It's on elomahealing.com. So that's my website. And then that's to subscribe and go after. But if you just want to join the live, you can go on TikTok. You don't even have to download TikTok. I think you can find me if you just go like onto like TikTok.com, and it's the Hapa Healer, which is also
Now, what's the Hapa
Oh,
Healer
there you
stand
go.
for?
That needs to come.
so,
Yeah.
oh yeah. So I should say, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had a lighter in my hand. So Aloma Healing is my business, and that Ethan is my stepson. He's 22. Liam and Luna are my children with my husband. So those are the 3 initials of my kids. So ELL. So that's the L.
Oh,
And then Oma. Yeah. And then Oma is how you say mother in Korean. So I named it El Oma Healing because
Oma
really,
in Korean. Okay.
yeah, it's Oma. So that's why, it just brought that all together because that really was what started my healing was, through the children.
Sounds like the
So
Elohim. Yeah.
yeah, so Aloma Healing. And then Hapa, that came because in Hawaii, there's a lot of Japanese culture there. So when they started like marrying the Hawaiians and, everybody started like mixing the cultures, they call them Hapa, which means mixed. So like half and half.
Oh, I never
Yeah.
heard that before.
nice.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's funny because like the Hawaiians that'll come on my page, they'll be like, "Oh, hapa," so they know what it means. And some people will say that hapa means half Hawaiian, which I am not. So, but none of the Hawaiians have come after me yet. So and I've used it in a respectful way. So I think they're like okay with me. Using that name.
That's cool. I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I like that
Yep.
too. I
Yeah.
like that.
Sorry, I'm like, I got like kids trying to roam in here, and I'm like trying to do something.
Oh, just say hi and goodbye. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we used to have dogs barking and kids. Yeah, it was very interesting. So it's very interesting.
Everyone's behaving over here right now. Let's not change that program.
Okay, I won't. Sorry, didn't
We're
mean
all
to talk.
behaving.
Nothing worse than having a nasty cat butt in your nose.
Oh geez, yeah. I love the cats on the Zooms. All like when they go across.
That's
When that guy turned into a cat in 2020, when everybody was going with Zoom, I think it was like some like law, like it was like a lawyer, and he was like turned himself into a cat.
He hit the wrong button or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
and he couldn't
funny.
figure out how to undo it. That was
Yes.
hilarious. I had this. Hey, have you got like a little 5-minute meditation you could give? I just pulled this out of my butt. Sorry.
OMG. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, nice.
It's just a little grounding. I don't know,
Yes.
a little heart grounding
Yes.
meditation. You
I
could
love
share with
doing-
us.
Yes. So I always tell people, I'm going to explain one really quickly. So if you are new meditation, everyone takes a shower. At some point during the week, you're going to take a shower.
Took one this morning just for you guys.
Yes, Rhonda. Thank you.
Sunday.
I knew I smelled fresh. I was like, that's Rhonda coming to me from Canada. So, when you're taking a shower, sit there and here's the thing, right? Intention and creation. We have been programmed to produce, to go, be productive, go. Nobody programs us to, let's just take a second. Let's just calm down. Let's just take a deep breath. So your body doesn't know how to do that, and you can teach it. That whole you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can, because this lady didn't start meditating till 42, and here I am at 48. I just finished a 3-part meditation series with some teachers at a school. I just went into an office space to talk about meditation and chakras. Yes, you can. Stop telling yourself you can't, because that's what you're projecting, right? When you're taking a shower, see that water literally washing off the caca. Okay, we're washing away all the gunk, all of the words, the thoughts, the stuff that just it's a new day, or it's the end of the night. This water is just going to wash it away. And it's so crazy, but even when my eyes have been closed, that water has changed color. It's been gold, and then I've seen green, and then yellow. And I tell people, we're not taught to pay attention to those things. When you come out of that shower, use the internet for some, useful things. What does the color yellow mean spiritually? What does the color gold mean spiritually? And I promise you, that 7-year-old that I said, you're gonna be like, what? Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was feeling. Wow. Do you know what I mean? It will resonate. And then when you start to open up those lines of communication, you'll start to feel more peaceful on your own. So this is one that I like to do. I always say put your palms up if you're trying to receive information, palms down if you're trying to ground yourself. And really easy, just take that deep inhale. And you picture that crystalline tube. And Rhonda, this came from Emily, right? Learning that crystalline tube, that chi, that energy inside of you. And exhale out the mouth, picturing that energy coming out the base of your spine, going through all the layers of Mother Earth, the dirt, the grass, the rock, the clays, down to that fiery core. And when you hit that fiery core, inhale Mother Earth's energy. And exhale, pushing it back down. On that next inhale through the nose, picture that energy going out the top of your head. It's going through the clouds, the stars, the galaxies, all the way up until you think you reach heaven. Exhale out the mouth, pulling that energy down. Start your morning this way, or end your evening this way. When your mind starts to wander, I'm hungry, I want coffee, I need to brush my teeth, I want to read my book, go back to that center. Set a timer for 3 minutes, and you're going to sit there and just breathe in and breathe out. You're programming your energy. You're telling your body to relax. You are showing your mind how to clear itself out. You are experiencing how to release your ego in this space. And that means you're not judging what you see. You are not judging what you feel. You are not judging what you hear. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. If that is all you do for 3 minutes, that is meditating. That is reprogramming. Your mind is powerful. Relax your shoulders. This is your safe space. This is your sacred space. This is where we connect to our higher power, our higher self, our guides, our ancestors. This is where we feel our feet going into the ground, roots crunching through that earth as it connects us to Pachamama, Gaia. Feeling that energy move up through the bottom of your feet, coming up your legs, passing your knees, coming up through your thighs, touching that root chakra, moving through that sacral, up to that solar plexus, the red, the orange, the yellow, reaching that heart space where that emerald green, your heartbeat, your center. Coming down to the top of your head with that purple, moving down to that dark midnight sky of indigo, down to that throat, that blue, as it meets in the heart space. Extend that emerald green light out of your heart into the world as that energy extends back to you, my brothers and sisters, as we walk hand in hand, extending the light within us and showing what is within them. Let's go ahead and bring our awareness back to our fingertips and our toes and take a deep inhale and exhale. And opening our eyes.
Thank you.
Absolutely my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you so much. I said you also have a Facebook group that you have your, and what is
Yes.
that group called?
That is called Echoes of Light. So the ladies, you did put my link tree. So if you go to my link tree, that will have the Echoes of Light spiritual group. It will have my website. I did have a podcast. I am going to bring it back, but again, like you said, because I learned so much from the guests that we brought on. I learned a lot about paranormal and astrology and all that. It's called All Walks of Light. I do have a full season on there if you want to go on. Yeah, we do talk about the Akashic Records, and I have paranormal researchers, astrologers that came on. Yeah, but on Echoes of Light, again, I teach you. There's me and a bunch of moderators, so there's a lot of good information on there, spiritual information.
We find that works really well. Teresa sometimes doesn't talk as much as you'd think she does, but that's because she's sitting there taking notes all the time, and it's wonderful. One question about the Akashic Records before I ask you the 3 questions I forgot to ask you ahead of time about, so you'll get a surprise. The Akashic Records. Now, when you're a Reiki master, the Honshisei Shonim, that symbol, attaches us to the Akashic Records. That's one of its duties. Of course, when I learned it 20 years ago, I forgot about that. Or actually, I saw it and I went, well, what are the Akashic Records? Oh, well, I don't know. And I moved on, you know, how it goes. And so then when I'm learning how to read the Akashic Records, you know, we're all in the group and we're getting, and everybody's going, oh, yeah, you feel that big pull of energy when you go into your records. And I'm thinking, no, not so much. And you know why not so much? Because I've always been in them and connected through the Honshisei Shonim for the last 20 years. And I'm thinking, oh, all that stuff when I say I'm talking out of my butt is coming from my Akashic Records. Yeah. And I didn't even realize it till I took the course and realized that the connection, like I would feel when I went into other people's Akashic Records and learned how to do that. But I didn't feel my own Akashic Records like that big rush that some people got when they went in it the first time. I think it diminishes as you go along, doesn't it, Teresa? Or does it?
Climatize? Is it?
Yeah, that's the word.
That spiritual climatize? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I thought that was really funny. And I was wondering if you felt the same way when you went into yours for the first time, or the first official time, if you felt that. Or you wondered, like,
I honestly can't remember. I would probably have to like look in my journal. But I mean, off the top, I don't remember having that like experience. I've had so many like wow moments though. So like that's why I'm glad that I like write them down, because I'm like, oh wait, yeah, it was like that. But yeah, it's crazy how much that they have just come in through everything that I do though. Like even in tarot readings or like Reiki sessions. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not seeing things that happen in childhood. I'm seeing things that happen in their past lives. And I'm like, oh, you were in a pit as a Roman soldier with snakes. And they're like, oh my God, I hate snakes. I'm like, that's why. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't even happen. It's happened like, 4,000 lives ago. And they're like, what did you just say, lady?
Yeah, sometimes you got to pick your audience, right? You got to pick your audience.
Read the room.
Read the room, right, Nancy? That's exactly true. You got to read the room. Kim, let's start off with the easy one. Do you have a favorite crystal Do you like crystals?
Oh, I love crystals, and I do. I would have to say it's malachite.
Oh, I
Um,
love malachite. Me
yeah,
too.
malachite and
pretty.
azurite,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and malachite. These two
Yeah.
are
Oh, yeah.
Heart
definitely.
energy.
Yeah.
Love my malachite. Really good for
Yeah.
her healing.
And then and of course the azurite has the malachite. So you know
Yes,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just love this one. Yeah, and malachite again because it's the heart, it's the center. It's, like I said, it's just for me in this incarnation, I know self-love has been one of the main karmic debts that I had. So
A great thing to do in malachite too, if you have like a hurting knee or something like that, if you tape like a piece that Granda has onto your knee, it will absorb the pain.
yeah, that makes
Then you got to
sense.
bury it though. You got to bury it and let it heal.
That makes
Never
sense
sure.
because when my knees hurt, it's always because I'm resentful against someone, and that's
Okay.
heart
Oh,
chakra.
brought up knees for a
Oh,
reason.
oh,
Okay.
So that tracks for what I've done in the clients that I've had and my own experiences. Yep. Every time somebody's
Good
knees
stuff.
are hurting, I'm like, who are you mad at? And they're like, what? How did
Mhm.
you know that? I'm like, because resentments build up in your knees. Yeah.
Oh, never really. Yeah, it's a good one.
That's-
Teresa, did you
Yes.
want to ask her your favorite question?
Oh, the rock and roll question. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I was wondering which one's my favorite. Okay, yeah. You know what? Okay, so there you are. You've got all these skills in your toolbox, and people have paid to come see you and hear all about you. And so there you are. You're walking across the stage. You see the crowd, but you hear your song playing. What song is it's like? Is it your theme song or your go-to song? It's the one that pulls you right to who you are. What is it? Could be anything. Doesn't have to be rock and roll.
Oh gosh, that is such a hard one because I am clairaudient, so
Oh,
much comes through to me
I
like with
bet. I
music.
bet it does.
But my biggest theme song that I have been saying again because it has to do with the root chakra and it has to do with me telling myself that I was a loser, that I was never the winner, that that I wasn't destined for big things. So my biggest theme song the last couple years has been all I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Ooh,
Got money on my mind, I ain't never give it up. Cause every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. Yeah, so
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's
That's
good.
Good
yeah.
song. We have never
Yeah.
had that one before. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
an
that's
awesome
been
one.
like playing
right
in my
on.
head. Like,
Good
no,
job.
I'm a winner.
Woo, woo,
Yeah.
I'm a winner, and so
Yeah.
are you. Yeah, yeah,
Good,
I
good
love
one.
it.
Good one.
yeah.
The last one is, have you ever seen a UFO? I'll just put it out there.
Yes, absolutely. I have. As a matter of fact, I have a wonderful story about the first UFO I saw. I was living in Great Falls, Montana, up in the boonies. My sister and I were probably about 10 and 8 at the time. And there was absolutely an unidentified flying object. It was sitting right in our backyard. And I'll never forget it because her and I froze and we were staring at it, right? And the reason I'll never forget this experience because my dad came out yelling and he was like, girls, girls. So we finally turned and said, what are you looking at? And we were both like, look. And when we pointed, it was gone. And we were like, there was a thing and it wasn't moving. That's why we were sitting there. He said we had been staring at it for like half an hour and it was like this.
Oh,
Like I thought I had just started looking at it and then I heard him yelling at me.
yeah.
And he was like, that's why he was like, girls, because he was yelling at us because he saw both of us just sitting there staring and he was yelling
Time.
and we did not respond
time.
until he came outside and like
Ooh.
shook us out of it. And we were when we looked gone, I saw it fly in and that's why I looked at it because it was flying in and then it just stopped. It just
Wow.
froze.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wow.
Love
Have you
it.
seen some
I'm
since?
like, no, and trust me, girlfriend, I've been like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, my bag is packed. Where are you? Where are you? ET phone home. Hello. Like this phone. I feel like Neo in the Matrix. I've been every payphone I've seen, I've been picking up. Like, hello?
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
this
cute.
one. Hello? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's
Good
good.
job.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
been fun.
definitely.
Thanks for coming on. Short
Yeah.
notice and everything. We loved it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And
Thank
being
you for having
available.
me.
But you've
Yeah.
been you've been one of those ones. Oh, I gotta ask her. I gotta ask her. I gotta ask her. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
opportunity opened up. So
Yeah.
They are.
No
And
sense.
and it's funny that you say that because in my stories, I'm thinking about 2021 because I got a download that after COVID, because the government likes to scare everybody. So I was like, they're going to use aliens next, and it was a
Yeah.
download that I got. So in about 2021, I was in my stories and I'm looking out my window and I was like, the aliens are coming. You heard it here first. And I was like, and I just drop little things like that. And I'm like, listen, I don't mind being like them being like that crazy lady, because when they come in 2028 or when I'm like, oh, remember that story I posted? I mean, I didn't want to be right, but because I was like, don't be
They've
scared,
always
guys.
been here, Kim.
That's what
Hey,
I said.
they've always
I
been
was
here.
like, don't be scared. You know what, Rhonda? That part, but I don't want to like freak them out. You know what I mean? So
Just take a look at Egyptian hieroglyphs. Like, honestly.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
yes, did you see they uncovered the mummies and they showed it? That's why it's like the masks. Even the Simpsons had it. The politicians took their
Yeah.
masks off
Not
and
funny.
they were the aliens. And I was like,
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Well, we could only hope. Anyway,
yeah.
get the good race coming down.
That's gonna be a whole nother show, right?
Whole another show. Yeah, one that we can't do for sure.
We should do that though. We can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, thank you so
ladies,
much.
Thank you so much.
And you guys have, I got a comment here. I have to say, what's this guy say? Just caught the last few stories. Awesome show, everyone. Do you know back Lausanne? Kim, can you say the last your name, please, for me?
Oh, it's Kim Cardiel Earley.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it because
Yeah.
I always make it sound French and it never works.
Yes, yeah. Wait, how do you say it in French? Because my dad keeps telling me it's French.
I would have Cardiel.
Yeah, Cardiel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, then I
Cardiel.
got my DNA. There's no French in us. I think it's the last Bastille. It's like the bottom one. So I told him, we're not French, sir.
My horses are more French than I am, but that's what I like to say.
That's so funny.
And we have all her links and all posted.
Yeah.
So we have everything in our paragraph.
Yeah, everything is in our links are in there, corrected and in there. You can watch us on YouTube, on the Breakthrough Show Network, YouTube, on our page, and you can go to later on our podcast and download this and listen to it. We have 5 seasons in our podcasts that you can go back through, and we have 8 seasons in our YouTube, and all totally
And every
free.
place to find Kim too.
Yeah, Kim's in there and everywhere. Yep.
And I'm going to share this on my TikTok too. So that's like my biggest platform. So I'm excited.
You're going to download and take some clips out, and that's awesome. Great.
Definitely.
Oh, TikTok's your biggest one. Awesome. Like I see you on TikTok too. So
that's because I get to be like creative and goofy and funny, and that's why not shocking that one, because I'm not an Instagram girl. I'm not like, look at me. Do you know what I mean? It's not me. So,
even my TikTok has got birds in it. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Even though I'm a liar, I'm like, I am look at me, but I'm willing to go on camera looking how I do when I wake up. So I should say that. Yeah, I'm all about entertaining. Yeah, I like to entertain. So.
That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nancy, for coming in today. Thank you, my great creator co-host, Teresa. And we'll see you next week.
I have a short announcement. Because tomorrow, every first and third Mondays at the Breakthrough Show Network community, we have meditations. And so tomorrow's going to be mine. The theme is going to be like, okay, so Halloween not Halloween. That shows you where I am. No, so Valentine's Day has happened. Okay. I know.
Could be Halloween. We do get candy there. We do get candy here.
Look,
that's the thing that really counts, and really, I like Cadbury eggs the best. But anyway, no, the meditation tomorrow is like, okay, so now Valentine's Day has happened. Well, now what? Let's keep that self-love ignited to carry us throughout the year. So that's what our meditation is going to be. It's going to be nurturing and just really building us up.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Teresa. And go to the Breakthrough Show Network. You get the links there, and you can go in. It's all free. You get into this really groovy meditation lounge that Teresa has all set up, and
sweet.
And it'll be great. So awesome. What time is that at, Teresa?
10:30.
10:30 Eastern, 9:30 my time,
Okay. Awesome.
Central.
AM, right?
Yes, yes.
AM.
Oh, I think I can do that. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yay.
Go through the Breakthrough Throw Show Network. Its links are here as well. And anything else, Nancy, for you? Nothing? We're done?
That's it right now. We're in good kitty level and trap neuters and return and getting the kitties taken care of and in good shape. And yay.
Thank you.
Good. Yay.
Okay, next week, come in and see our favorite returning Brit. Sifu Bulky is on, and he like the energy will be quite high.
Get ready for the energy.
Yeah, get ready for the energy. Not quite
Aries
sure
explosion.
Sifu's going to talk. Yeah,
Nice.
he'll light up the lights, no problem.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week. Stay on,
Okay.
Kim, before when we
Absolutely.
come back. Okay.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to bye, everyone.